Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Politics and Power with Dr. Avis. You know, one of the most powerful experiences you will have in life, if not the most powerful experience, is the power that you will experience in your relationships. You know, it's my belief that at the end of your life, you're not going to worry about that meeting you missed. It's going to be about that love that you missed. And so today is all about relationships from a Black male perspective. I have an amazing panel of brothers here, so I can get all the info for all of you guys out there. We're going to let them introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Reggie.
All right, my name is Reginald Smith. I'm a relationship coach, and I work with high-achieving women who have attained many of their professional goals but do not yet have the interpersonal relationship they desire or best complements her.
All right, great. Yes, Mr. Guy.
My name is Guy DeWeaver II. I'm currently a senior at Virginia State University studying business marketing. I've had multiple internships and multiple leadership positions across campus, and young Black men in relationships and just living that through life.
All right, now, don't need too many relationships. I'm just playing. Yes, dear.
Okay, my name is Devin Anderson. I'm currently a senior project coordinator with Cerner Government Services up in Arlington, Virginia, working with the Department of Veteran Affairs through their EMR revolution and revamping. So that's my main job. On the side, I do professional development, branding strategist, and I'm a resume writer as well. So
Awesome.
yes, ma'am.
Well, wonderful to have you all on the show today. So I'm just going to throw out a few questions and we'll just jump in and start the conversation. Now, you know, I want to center this conversation around this whole concept of Black love, right? Like, is Black love alive and well and thriving today? For me, it seems as if when I just am out here on social media, I see a lot of hate. That is balled up and thrown from Black women to Black men and from Black men to Black women. And I'm like, where is the love? Right. You know, what is the state of Black love as you see it?
I think the challenge is often disappointment. That's where it comes from. Either experiences from having been jaded or having a bad experience that gets projected. And instead of looking at an individual and taking the individual on their own merit, that gets carried and propagated forward. Mm-hmm. And so it's a matter of a conversation, right? It's a matter of meeting someone. If you meet someone and she's aggressive, and you can tell there may be some hurt there, it's about paying attention to it and maybe asking a question as to, okay, did someone hurt you? Is everything okay? Again, coming from a place of concern, I think can begin to tear down those walls of disappointment and hurt.
I see. And from the perspective of a younger generation, do you see, are you even looking for like love, or is it an issue of you just want like a girlfriend for the moment? Is there a generational difference when you think about this issue?
So I'm pretty sure that there is a generational difference. For me personally, I would say that I'm kind of at the place where I'm looking for qualities, and I'm looking for I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I want and what it is that I like, you know. So I have dated, girls, and at the end of the day, you go for what you think you want and see what you like in that situation, what you don't like in that situation, and then if that works out, if it doesn't, you move on to the next thing. But I am someone that wholeheartedly believes in Black love. My mom instilled that in me from a young age, and it's something that I've never been able to get out of my mind, and that I really don't want to. I love my Black woman.
All right now.
And I feel like I come from a different perspective because currently I'm in a relationship with a Black woman, and we just welcomed our first child to the world 3 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah. So right now it's and she's a girl as well. So my perspective on Black love is potentially a little different because I see that it needs to be there. That this is something I'm going to have to embody in my relationship, so my daughter sees what she wants in a relationship. So it kind of is almost a duty of a man to show his daughter what he wants her to accept when she's older. So that's kind of my focus right now, is making sure I love my Black woman to the best of my ability and epitomize Black love to her so she sees what she might want later on in life.
Oh, God. Y'all are... That's so beautiful. Okay. So what can we do, Reggie? I love that. And I think that you made a special point, Devin. You are saying that you are intentionally looking to model the type of respect and love that you want your daughter to accept and know that she deserves in relationships. Do you find with some of your clients that perhaps they approach relationships in a broken way because they did not have the fortune of growing up in a family where they could see what it looks like to be treated with respect, what it looks like to be treated in a way that exhibits love on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And how do you overcome that if that is your background?
That's a great question. So what happened? Yes, to answer your question, I absolutely see that. And what I like about it when I do see it is the awareness around it, the absenteeism of that parent or that father who did not craft a script for his daughter in terms of how she should be treated, how she should be regarded and respected. And that's a heavy cross to bear. And so when you recognize it, it's the beginning of healing. Yeah. The journey begins at that point. And so then we all have what's called saboteurs, right? Those things that show up that cause us to question if we should continue or move forward with a situation. But the saboteur, it could be a good situation if the man is treating her with the respect and regard that she deserves, to be able to see that and recognize it and not flee because it's foreign. So it's a healing process. But yes, I do see it, especially in it. And you figure the time that it takes, by the time people get to that place in life, they are older. So that's a greater hurdle to overcome, but it's certainly doable.
Absolutely. And Guy, you said a point a second ago that I'd like to follow up on and unpack a little bit. You mentioned this issue of quality, right? So if you were to sort of define or operationalize what qualities that you find attractive in a woman, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, what are those things that are most important to you?
Again, if you would have asked me this 2 years ago, I had a different set of answers for you. 6 months ago, I would have had a different set of answers for you. So that's something that's constantly evolving with what I'm able to experience and what I'm able to, just find. But for right now, I would say someone that's driven and doing her own things in the world, because I am as well. Someone that's loving and caring. Someone that pushes me to actually be better. A lot of people, especially my age, I'm doing a lot of things in the community and in the classroom. So a lot of people are somewhat intimidated by that. But, I need someone that can see that, I'm still, just it's going to push me to the next level because I'm still not where I'm going to be at. So I want to see someone that's also doing those same things that I can not only like now, but that can grow with me and move on to that next level of life that I'm moving towards.
And with you, Devin, you have a young man with a young family. Like, what do you think are the most important things that you do to keep your relationship strong?
Personally, I would say that the things that I actively work at to keep my relationship strong are just having those transparent conversations with my spouse that kind of alleviate the need for heightened nagging, kind of like a nag.
Yeah, that's okay. You can say nagging.
Yeah, like a nagging point at like keep trying to, because that's a lot of women. That's their form of trying to figure out their man. I feel as though. So
let's unpack that, because a lot of women hear that and they don't really, we see things differently. So can you define what that looks like to you?
What, the nagging?
The nagging, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like, you put a big one on me, right? the nagging can come in so many different forms. So. Just sometimes your woman might be nagging at you about something that you said that you were going to do in the past that you may have forgot completely you were going to do, but it keeps feeling like this nagging is coming in. And then it's like, oh, she's really just trying to get you to live up to your word and what you said you were going to do. Necessarily might not be the best way to go about it. A simple, transparent conversation, that's why I mentioned that in the beginning, can alleviate some of those issues. But you have to be open-minded and transparent enough and be able to diagnose the situation from an unbiased perspective to realize when you're in the wrong and maybe you're not upholding your end of the bargain.
That's very smart. Now, that speaks to this issue of communication.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a minute?
Absolutely. So I like what you're saying, having those conversations, because it is about communication, right? And not just the communication, but it is about studying your mate. And I believe firmly in picking your spots when you want to talk to your mate about whatever it is you need to talk to them about, because you have studied and paid attention, and hopefully they are doing the same reciprocally, right? So when that happens, you can have more amicable discussions around those things that bother you and concern you and give you pause. And I'll say this quickly, it's important to check in. Check in before the issues start. Are you getting what you need? Am I giving you what you need, right? And have those conversations transparently to further solidify and strengthen the foundation of your relationship.
I love it. Now I'm feeling so much better about Black love. I have renewed faith in Black love because of these beautiful Black men I have around me today. So thank you for joining me on Politics and Power.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.